Hey, what's up guys? I'm Hunter K. I've been working in Japanese restaurants my whole entire life, and on this channel, I share some of my recipes, tips, and tricks. And today, we're going to be making some beef tataki. I'd like to correct myself here, but it's actually beef sashimi, and I'll let you know why in just a second. Packed with umami. Beef sashimi is a dish where meat is seared quickly over high heat to be able to enjoy both the raw and cooked parts of the meat. There is a similar counterpart to this dish, and it's called tataki. Tatakis are traditionally seared over an open flame of hay, sliced, then served with grated ginger, hence the name tataki, which literally translates to pounded or hit into pieces. Beef sashimi has its own category now, where seared beef is sliced thinly and usually served with ponzu. Today I've taken the concept and have added another layer of flavor, a golden explosion of a sauce to go with the beef sashimi. Alright, and now that we got that covered, let's go to the kitchen. To start things off, I'll make the Nikkiri sauce. Nikkiri is the glaze your sushi chef uses to brush a piece of nigiri. I'll measure 100 ml of soy sauce, 100 ml of mirin, 25 ml of dashi, and 5 ml of sake. Combine this all together, bring it to a boil, then lower to a simmer, and let it reduce by half. Next, I'll take an onion, slice off the ends, cut it in half, and proceed to small dice the onion. Now there are a lot of ways to cut an onion. I preferably like to give more time giving the small incisions so I don't have to chop the big pieces to smaller ones after they're all over the cutting board. Now I'll wash the onions in cold water for the next few minutes to clear the raw spiciness from the onions. And it helps to use a strainer bigger than your bowl so the onions don't drip out of the bowl. Then I'll take the onions and pat it dry to prevent the sauce from diluting. After the nigiri has reduced by half, you want to let it cool down so it doesn't start cooking the onion. Combine the nigiri, mirin, sesame oil, and sugar, and mix it together until the sugar dissolves. Then finally add the sauce to the onions from earlier, mix it together, and let it marinate for at least a minimum of 15 minutes. Today I have myself a piece of tenderloin, a very tender cut of the meat with minimal fat. Strip loin also works well for this, but cuts with a lot of fat in between the meat like the ribeye is not very ideal. Pat the meat dry to impede the moisture in cooking, as the only thing we are looking for is just a quick sear in cooking. Apply a generous amount of salt and pepper and give it a nice sear on all sides of the beef, and preferably in oil with a high smoking point like canola oil, looking for a beautiful Maillard reaction until it looks like this. I'm not a very big fan of the excessive oil coated on my food after cooking. Since it does have a bit of a heavy flavor profile, I like to blot the excess oil with a paper towel, and I'd like to advise everyone at home to do the same. Not all cuts of meat are perfect, since some do tend to partially start falling apart like here. So to prevent the meat from falling apart when making thin cuts, it's best to cut it at an angle parallel to where the meat is falling apart. Finally, let's put everything together. Today I have some ponzu from Mezcan. It has a very nice citrus flavor and it's my go-to ponzu for everything. I'll take some of the green onions and place a tiny portion on top of the beef with some of the golden onion sauce that was marinating in the soy sauce for the past 15 minutes. And now we can witness the fruits of your labor. Itadakimasu. Now, beef tataki and ponzu is a classic Japanese flavor combination, and for those of you watching who have never tried it, I would highly recommend it. Now, despite the light flavors from the ponzu and the heavy flavor profile from the beef, there is this overwhelming deep flavor coming from the onion sauce, and together it gives this perfect harmony. Alright, so it's almost Christmas, so for those of you who are looking for something a little bit fancy over the holidays, I would highly recommend this. Alright, so I'm going to eat the rest of this off camera, so I'll see you guys later. Overall, the beef sashimi was great. I loved it, but I did think it could have used a little bit of an accent with something like garlic chip as a garnish or some grated ginger into the sauce. Now, I didn't do it on camera, but off camera, I ate it with some grated daikon as well, which is kind of my go-to for everything. But that also works as a very nice accent as well with the onion sauce. So anything along the lines, I think it works out fantastically. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.
これあれ味は酢の物酢醤油ちょっとブルブルしてんじゃん